Straight ahead on CCX News, the big dig. How this unusual April weather is forcing businesses to readjust. Plus, all this snow has many frustrated, but we'll show you how it's also bringing out the best in people. And later, as part of Volunteer Recognition Week, we spotlight a Plymouth volunteer who is using her talents to help out in a big way. CCX News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. A 14-year-old girl is reported safe after police say she was held against her will inside a Brooklyn Park home.
And the incident happened early Saturday morning and involved a lengthy police standoff. According to police, the girl was able to text her aunt saying the people holding her had a gun. Police figured out where the text came from and responded. However, the people inside wouldn't cooperate. Authorities then got a warrant allowing a SWAT team to enter, who arrested 3 men and found the girl in a basement bedroom of a home in the 3400 block of 74th Circle North.
The case remains under investigation. The 3 adult males were all arrested and are being detained, and we're actually looking at a plethora of different angles on what went on during this standoff and why they wouldn't release the 14-year-old. So I think as this case unravels itself in the next few days, we'll try to determine what exactly was going on in there.
Well, police say the girl was a runaway. 3 suspects were arrested. 2 are Minneapolis men charged with false imprisonment. The 3rd is a Brooklyn Park man charged with criminal sexual conduct. Well, the records fell, and dare we say it, more snow is on the way, possibly Wednesday.
If you live in Maple Grove, you get a shovel for a trophy. Maple Grove had the most snowfall over the weekend in the Twin Cities, with 22 inches recorded in the southeast part of the city. That's according to the National Weather Service. This will go down as the snowiest April ever, based on the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport total, surpassing 1983 by a good 3 inches. This weekend's storm will also go down as the largest single snow event during the month of April. And the big dig out, of course, isn't over in many local neighborhoods.
In fact, as Eric Nelson reports, restocking store shelves with winter gear hasn't ended either.
The epic snowstorm of 2018 was a sucker punch for most residents of the northwest suburbs.
Not very happy at all. I'm like so over this weather right now.
The blizzard battered the Twin Cities.
What were we looking for?
And had many buying snow shovels in mid-April instead of yard shovels.
Shovels and ice melt were the kind of the 2 biggies. People coming in last minute.
At Levon Brothers Hardware Hank Store in Maple Grove,
16th of April and you got to buy a shovel.
business was brisk thanks to the record snowfall.
Well, people that were brave enough to challenge the roads over the weekend definitely were in getting stuff to try to fight all that snow.
I want to protect myself from the slippery ice and stuff, and plus the icicles that are dripping. I need to melt my sidewalk.
Usually by now, Levon Brothers has segued into spring as snow shovels and ice melt vanish from the store.
We were thinking around Easter, planning on packing everything away.
But with Old Man Winter still packing a punch, those items are still available.
Being that they're saying Wednesday and possibly after the weekend we might get more, I think we'll give it 1 more week before we really start packing it away.
Maple Grove was in the bullseye of this blizzard, getting 22 inches of snow. According to the National Weather Service, that was the most of any city in the Twin Cities metro area. Maple Grove is now a winter wonderland.
This will be one heck of a memory.
But the snowy landscape is not good news at places like Rush Creek. The golf course isn't close to being ready, and people are more concerned with digging out than their next tee time.
Yeah, gotta dig my car out. Small car. You need like a truck or SUV to be driving around here.
In Maple Grove, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
And when it comes to the weather, closing schools isn't an easy decision, nor is it all a one-size-fits-all approach. In the CCX News viewing area, we had several school districts close on Monday, but others stayed open. Osseo, Anoka-Hennepin, and Brooklyn Center schools all stayed closed. Osseo and Anoka-Hennepin are 2 of the biggest districts in the state, while Brooklyn Center has many open enrollment classes coming from other areas. Robbinsdale, Hopkins, Wayzata schools, meanwhile, all stayed open. A spokesperson for the Hopkins district says several factors do go into their decision. The storm wrapping up on Sunday evening was one factor. Another is knowing buses can get to their destination safely. Well, you may be tired of all the snow, but it is producing a few heartwarming stories.
And Sonia Goins shares some of them.
The sounds of snow removal, shovels, and snowblowers can be heard throughout this Crystal neighborhood. These two friends are on a mission to get rid of more than a foot of snow.
The last time I remember a snowfall like this was back in '83.
The work is tedious and time-consuming, so Barry and Peter are teaming up to remove Mother Nature's mess.
Oh, you know, it's pretty heavy. Yeah, you just gotta deal with it, though.
Looks like half of their snow from the snowblower made it over here too, so I get extra snow.
But for Barry, this isn't a chore, rather a labor of love.
I'm coming here to clear my dad's driveway.
His elderly dad is fighting cancer, so Barry drove from Dakota County to help him out.
Unfortunately, my little snowblower here, that's the only one I could fit in my truck. It doesn't handle the harder clumps like this from the snowplow or whatever. That would just bust it up.
Neither men thought they would be shoveling this much snow in April.
Not really. It kind of surprised me. I was really hoping winter was going to be over.
On a day like today, there is no shortage of Minnesota nice around the Northwest Metro.
It's a lot of heavy snow.
Mark Larson drove from Plymouth to help his mother-in-law in Brooklyn Park. Mother-in-law Sherry also put in some work.
Yeah, well, I just cleared off my front step because you can't get a snowblower up here.
She's the quality control.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, everyone we talk with say they're tired of all this winter-like weather.
I'm supposed to be planting flowers and not shoveling snow.
Now this is a lot of snow to clear up, but the good news is it should start melting in the next couple of days, just in time for our next snow event. In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Well, now to a growing problem impacting children in messy custody battles or child protection cases. A Brooklyn Center lawmaker says the court system doesn't have enough independent voices to speak on behalf of kids.
This is really a crisis, and we need to make certain that the state steps up and gives the money that's required to make sure that our most vulnerable children, those that are abused and neglected, have a voice in the courtroom.
Representative Deborah Hillstrom has authored a bill to put $3.7 million into the Guardian Ad Litem program. Guardians Ad Litem are neutral parties in child protection or custody cases who investigate and then report their findings to the court. But child protection cases have increased so fast the Guardians can't keep up.
When you don't get appointed a guardian, the judge is forced to rely on whatever is provided by the lawyers for mom or the lawyers for dad or whatever is provided by mom or dad. And so mostly what's happening is the court is continuing those cases. And so kids end up in the system for longer. It's not in the best interest of anyone.
Representative Hillstrom says the state hasn't kept up with the big jump in cases involving parental rights. Still ahead on CCX News, we spotlight a company moving its corporate headquarters to Maple Grove. That's next in Business Matters.
Plus, the new head softball coach at Armstrong is a former Falcon standout.
But first, the good news. Sunny and snow-free on Tuesday. Now the bad news, more snow possible on Wednesday. Maple Grove is about to get a new corporate headquarters.
In this week's Business Matters report, it's a look at a company called Illume and its move to Maple Grove. Step inside Illume's design studio, and the shelves filled with elegant and aromatic products give you an idea of this company's range.
This is part of the Magnolia Home by Joanna Gaines. We're doing diffusers and beautiful candles.
Candles are at the core of Illume, but that's just the beginning. Home fragrances and personal care products, from soaps to perfumes, are intended to create beautiful experiences that won't break the bank.
If you sometimes can't afford to take a vacation, you can pick up a beautiful candle that smells like you're on vacation. These are beautiful indulgences that people can have regardless of really what the economic times are.
They're indulgences made entirely in Minnesota. From the design process and fragrance selection to the manufacturing, sales, and distribution.
We are in 6 buildings currently in the South Metro, and we are consolidating in Maple Grove all under one roof.
This spring, Illume will break ground on its new corporate headquarters in Maple Grove, at this site just east of the fountains at Arbor Lakes.
Maple Grove is thrilled to welcome Illume to our community. We're really excited that they're planning to bring their existing 130 jobs. On top of that, they're also planning to add at least 85 additional jobs, by 2020.
So the Arbor Lakes area in particular is around all of the amenities that our employees use on a regular basis. It's also the home to many of our retail partners.
With multiple national brands under the Illume name, this company is growing and hiring. Its move into Maple Grove will help accommodate both things.
When we move, we want to make our presence known because attracting and retaining great talent is our #1 priority.
Illume products are sold at big retailers such as Nordstrom and Target, but also online and at specialty gift shops. The new Maple Grove headquarters is expected to be complete in the summer of 2019. Still ahead, we meet a Plymouth volunteer who uses her skills to help the city.
But first, the Maple Grove girls lacrosse team is hoping to make a return trip to the state tournament. John Jacobson is in next with sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. The Maple Grove girls lacrosse team won its first game of the season last week. Crimson is well built this spring to make a run on its 3rd straight section title. Here's Jason Malillo with more.
Maple Grove returns a strong core of players for 2018. Leading scorer Emily Herdeen will command the midfield, and the Crimson has several skilled attackers.
Obviously, beating Irondale 17-2 can show how much we can actually dominate a team, and the talking and confidence has definitely gone up over the summer, even though we haven't played together. But it's just nice to see everyone working together well.
Sometimes it's hard to gain that confidence when you step up to like a varsity team or game, and so just having that support back that have already been playing varsity and helping the kids that haven't, it just is really beneficial.
Maple Grove's most significant loss was goalie Coco Francis. Freshman Bridget Getch will step into the starting role and should have a solid defense in front of her.
She's one of the best younger goalies I've ever seen. She, in practice, she's got a ton of saves. Her clears are amazing, and she's so talkative down with the defense.
The Crimson has made the state tournament 2 years in a row. Last year, MG failed to win a game at state, but the girls believe they'll be ready this season if they make it that far. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
Maple Grove was supposed to host Elk River Monday night, but that game has been postponed. They're scheduled to host rival Osseo Park Center Wednesday. There's a possibility that could be played in the Maple Grove Sports Dome. Like Maple Grove lacrosse and head coach Haley Karate, the new Armstrong softball coach is back coaching at the school she played for. Here's Jay Wilcox with a preview of the Falcons.
Ariana Crosby was a superb shortstop for Armstrong not so long ago, and after a couple of years as an assistant, 2007 graduate Crosby is the Falcons' new head coach, with a couple of more former Falcons assisting her.
It's definitely exciting being in charge and have the other coaches with me. We're all Armstrong alums, so it's really exciting to be back and be with our program. We love working with the girls and we love the sport, so it's been really exciting having the opportunity, and we're excited for the season to get started and hopefully get the snow out of the way so we can get our games going.
Their experience going through the program is really helpful because they have grown up playing softball and they know exactly what we're thinking when we just bobbled the ball, and they know how we feel, and it really translates through their coaching.
The Falcons will have some new faces in the lineup this season, but do return some key players as well. Pitcher Leah Baker and infielder Kaylin Leonard have plenty of varsity ball under their belts. Things have looked pretty sharp in the indoor workouts.
We feel like we have a really strong team, all of our levels, so I'm just excited to finally get outside and see what we can do. And the girls have been playing together for a while, so we're hoping it all comes together this season and we have a really good run.
While Armstrong hasn't won a ton of games in the regular season the past couple of years, they have made some noise in the postseason, winning 3 games and reaching the Section 6 4A final 2 years ago and winning 2 postseason games last spring. That taste of success helps.
It definitely was new for a lot of us coming into for the program. It
It really helped like boost our self-confidence and our esteem because we hadn't gotten very far in the past, but it kind of helped show us that we can do this. We work hard enough and have fun. We can do it.
The weather has tested everyone's patience in the spring sports world, but the Armstrong girls are trying to stay positive.
I mean, obviously I wish the snow was gone. Gym practices and dome practices aren't the best, but we'll take what we can get. We are playing ball in Minnesota.
Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Armstrong's first 4 scheduled games have already been postponed, with more to come. And that's it for another fun day in prep sports. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Up next, helping out one volunteer at a time.
And we'll share one special story in honor of Volunteer Recognition Week when we come back. Well, you could call it serendipity.
For Volunteer Recognition Week, reporter Shannon Slatton highlights a Plymouth volunteer who uses her professional skill set to help the city.
Are incomplete and things like that.
I think one of the amazing things about our volunteer program is there's such an amount of serendipity that occurs.
One perfect example of serendipity happened recently for Plymouth volunteer coordinator Jackie Moss.
This is our 25th anniversary of our volunteer program this year, and in the 11 years that I've been managing the program, I have never done a survey. That's not my happy place. It's not my skill set.
But then she met Bilkis Khan Jawani.
And then all of a sudden this potential volunteer showed up at our office and said, hey, I'm a program evaluator. I would love to volunteer for you.
I have a lot of passion with data and monitoring programs and evaluating programs that, you know, we spend so much money on certain programs and we do not know whether they are successful or not.
Bilkis has a head and a heart for data and statistics. She helped craft the survey using her professional expertise, providing an important service to the city.
What were the challenges? Why were you unable to achieve them? So that's what evaluation does. And I have a very strong quantitative background also, so I love statistics a lot. So I do a lot of statistical analysis too. So that's what brings me here.
So she'll be able to provide us with a documented tool, kind of a roadmap of what we can do next to make sure that we're having the best experiences for our volunteers in this program.
With more than 70,000 people in Plymouth, there's so much untapped volunteer potential. Bilkis says giving back helps you meet people and contribute to your community.
We are so diverse in Plymouth that it's very important that we really offer our services to volunteers, because that's the platform where we know each other much better.
In Plymouth, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Out of it,
right?
And
the City of Plymouth has a well-organized volunteer program. If you're interested in volunteering, you can check out their website and you can find volunteering under the What's New tab. I think the city is lucky to have both of those women. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's all for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again Tuesday, starting at 4.